Hey, what is going on, guys? Welcome to another video. And today I wanted to talk about the top three biggest and most talked about metaverse plays. And the reason why I want to bring this up is because we've seen a ton of hype stocks come down, and a lot of the metaverse stocks are mostly the stocks that have come down a tremendous amount. And so I just wanted to go ahead and talk about the top three that I've got on my radar and just kind of compare them all and kind of let you know what I think is the best and kind of what I think might be the worst. And so let's just go ahead and get right into it. So the first one on this list is Roblox. Now, in my honest opinion, Roblox may actually be the closest thing to a functioning metaverse today. You know, when you think about the metaverse, it's like this 3D virtual world where people interact with each other via these game-like avatars. And so one thing about Roblox is that the best experience actually comes from those who purchase the games in-game currency, and they're called Robux. And this has made Roblox the majority of its money. They make a ton of money from kids purchasing the in-game currency, and that's been working very well for them. They've been pretty making a decent amount of revenue going forward. They're not profitable, but they've been making a pretty good amount of revenue. Roughly half of their user base is under the age of 13, and this places the company in a great position for the future. So that is something that I do really like a lot. I love companies like this, these gaming type companies that have a bunch of kids that are on their platform. That makes me very bullish. And also, one stat that I saw that was very astounding was they actually have 45 million daily active users, which is absolutely insane to me. That is, the United States has got like a population of 300 million people, and 45 million of those people are on Roblox every single day. That is insane. Obviously, it's mostly kids, but that's still a pretty crazy stat. So Roblox has really got the kids here. And I also saw something else that in 2021, the average Roblox user spent about 2.5 hours per day on the platform. That is incredible. And that's almost up there with some of the other great platforms like TikTok and YouTube and things like that. So that's really, really good for Roblox. Now, the revenue they're generating is very strong. It's very, very good and it's strong, but Roblox as a company still isn't profitable. And the other two companies that I'm going to name pretty much are, Unity's not yet, but we'll get to that when we get to Unity, but they're closer to Roblox. And so I'll be honest, Roblox to me looks like a stock that really benefited from the pandemic. That's what I saw, because the average time spent by users per day did drop a little bit once kids had to start going back to school. And the price of Roblox is down tremendously. It's down 58% year to date. And I think a big reason why is because a lot of people do see this as a stay-at-home play, and I think so too. I think a lot of parents were worn out by the pandemic and worn out by their kids, so they just gave them the phone and just said, "Hey, just play Roblox for a few hours. Leave me alone. I need a break." You definitely saw things like that. So something like that definitely wouldn't surprise me. Moving on to the next stock would be Microsoft, and I know it's hard to understand or believe that Microsoft is a metaverse play, but it truly is, especially with their latest acquisition, which we are going to get into. So as of right now, Microsoft is down 14% year to date. Now, Microsoft may actually be the early leader in the professional metaverse, so the Microsoft Enterprise Metaverse aims to integrate the Internet of Things, digital twins, and mixed reality to help Microsoft grow its professional software market dominance. And the company also made a very aggressive move into the metaverse on January 18th when they announced a deal to acquire the video game giant Activision Blizzard for $69 billion. I'm sure most of you guys know what that is. I mean, who hasn't played Activision? Like, I played Activision growing up as a kid. When you think about games like Call of Duty and things like that, I'm almost certain that Activision Blizzard is behind that. But what's amazing about this Activision deal and puts Microsoft in a great spot to be dominant in the metaverse is that it will give Microsoft instant access to 400 million monthly active gamers, and some of whom already spent money in the digital world. The company's growing cloud business also gives it major metaverse network scale advantages. So Microsoft is one that I would not sleep on. Microsoft, with that Activision deal and the amount of money that they have, they can easily be the dominant player in the metaverse. Moving on to the third stock. Unity is the company that provides the platform for creating and operating interactive real-time 3D content. Believe it or not, there's actually this game I play on my phone, and every time I click on it, it says powered by Unity software. So it's just very interesting. I had no idea that I was playing a game that Unity was involved with, but that just goes to show you Unity is definitely involved in the gaming world as well. And so what I really like about Unity is they don't just do gaming. They're actually in a bunch of different industries, and they have many uses for their platform. And Unity is also down a lot too, but it's not down as much as the others. And there's a big reason for that, and we'll get to that. But I can see right here it's down 40% year to date, so never mind. It actually is down a lot. But Unity software is benefiting big time from the growing demand for real-time 2D and 3D content. They are primarily known for their Unity gaming engine. And here's a stat that I found very interesting. Their Unity gaming engine controls a 48% share of the video game engine market. That is incredible. And keep in mind, video game market share is expected to hit I guess market cap is expected to hit 3.65 billion in value by 2024. And Unity software is already operating in a very lucrative space. So I actually really like Unity a lot. The company sees its revenue growing 35% this year to 1.5 billion. And what's more is analysts expect Unity's revenue to increase nearly 30% in 2023. And here's the really great thing about Unity that I think actually separates it from Roblox and kind of puts it somewhere close to Microsoft is the company is also expected to turn profitable on a non-GAAP basis next year. So that's really, really cool to see. And all of this isn't all that surprising given the growing size of the video game engine market. But this is one of the main reasons why I think investors should probably consider Unity. I know I am. Now let's go ahead and take a look at some financials here. So Roblox actually did not have a good earnings report. They did not beat very many of Wall Street's estimates, and the stock actually tumbled 27% following their earnings report. I remember that pretty vividly. I think the main reason was Wall Street had much higher expectations. Even though their amount of daily active users grew, I think Wall Street expected a much higher increase of daily active users, but it wasn't as strong as Wall Street expected. And like I said, I think that's because the kids started going back to school. And so Wall Street did not like that at all, but we're just going to go ahead and go over a little bit. So revenue increased 83% year over year to Q4 2020 to 568 million. It sounds great, but like I said, when you compare it to Wall Street estimates, they weren't very happy about it. That's why the stock got absolutely destroyed that day. Net cash provided by operating activities of 122 million. Free cash flow was 77 million. Bookings increased 20% year over year from Q4 2020 to 170 million. That's pretty good. Average daily active users was 49.5 million, an increase of 33% year over year. That's true, but I think that's a very small increase from the last quarter. I'm almost certain that the last quarter they had 45 million. So they go from 45 million to 49 million. I could be wrong, but I'm sure I'm right about that. Hours engaged were 10.8 billion, an increase of 28% year over year. These are all good numbers, but I think the main issue is that this company still isn't profitable. And we kind of did expect them to grow at a much faster rate. Oh, I don't know why their earnings report is like this. I hate the font they chose, but cash and cash equivalents, it looks like they've got, this is in thousands. So yeah, it looks like they've got $3 billion in cash. That's definitely not bad. So total assets, they've got about 4 billion. Sorry, it won't let me highlight it, but you guys can see. So if you look under total assets, they've got about 4.5 billion in total assets. But if you scroll down and look at total liabilities, that's where it starts to get a little iffy here. They've got about $3.9 billion in total liabilities. And then if you look at things like operating lease liabilities and their long-term debt, you know, it's a lot. They get about $987 million in long-term debt. And yeah, that ain't good. So, and then when you look at total current liabilities, you can see they got about 2.1 billion, which is also included in this 3.9 billion down at the bottom total liabilities. Sorry, it won't let me highlight it for you guys, but I'm sure you guys can see that. So, Yeah, Roblox will be on the last for me. Roblox is a great company. I do like it, but I would say this is a speculative play. This is not a for sure, guaranteed multi-bagger play here. I would say that Roblox is a company that you're kind of gambling on a little bit, to be completely honest with you, with all those liabilities that they've got. We scroll down and look under here. You can see it's in thousands. So you can see that revenue came in at about $568 million. Cost of revenue, that's where it starts to get sketchy. That's where you start to get a little worried about this company. $158 million was the cost just to get that revenue. Then you look at other things like research and development. That cost a lot. General and administrative, sales and marketing. So now when you look at it, they brought in about $568 million in revenue. However, their total cost and expenses was $708 million. So like I said, that's a little iffy there. Consolidated net loss came in at $147 million. Their earnings report doesn't look that great, to be completely honest. I can kind of see why the stock is down so much. So yeah, like I said, Roblox would not be number one for me. Now we scroll over to Unity. Unity is where it's at, because Unity is almost profitable. Like they're like right there, about to be profitable. So Unity is definitely a company that I like a lot more. So Unity, let's just scroll and read. So revenue came in at $315 million, increase of 43% from the fourth quarter. Creative Solutions revenue was 99%, blah, blah, blah. The bottom line is I remember Unity. First of all, let me highlight something else why I like Unity. Unity has had a monster earnings report every quarter since like 2020. Like I've been following them. They've just been killing it. Like they have been killing it. They have consistently had good earnings reports. Like they just keep doing well. They have a great management there. So if you want like my more risky play, I would rather Unity over Roblox. But let's just go ahead and keep looking. So looking here, cash and cash equivalents, they've got about $1 billion. So they do not have as much money as Roblox. However, this is where it gets interesting. Now they've got about $1 billion in cash and cash equivalents. But if you scroll down to total assets, $4.8 billion, and you compare that to their liabilities, it looks way stronger than Roblox. You compare that to liabilities, they've got $4.8 billion in total assets, and when it comes to liabilities, they've got $2.4 billion. So like I said, they look much stronger than Roblox, especially from a balance sheet perspective and from a financial perspective. So and they've been killing it every single quarter with their earnings. So Unity, I absolutely love. So like I said, if I had to pick, Roblox will be last. Unity would be my speculative one. But if you guys want my number one play, it's going to be Microsoft. Microsoft is so great. I didn't even bother to look at the earnings report because I think you guys already know. Microsoft is insanely, ridiculously profitable. They're bringing in a crap ton of money. They have more than enough money to do whatever they want to do. And that acquisition of Activision Blizzard kind of sealed the deal for me that Microsoft is going to be one of the premier and strong, dominant metaverse plays. And one thing that you really got to keep in mind with these type of companies is if you just look at the history over the long term, these big monster dominant companies like Apple, Amazon, Microsoft tend to always dominate their competition because they just have so much freaking money and such great management that executes and is able to get done what they need to get done. So if you want a for sure winner in the metaverse, honestly, I would just go with Microsoft. If you want something that's a little bit speculative but looks really, really good, then I would go with Unity. And Roblox looks really, really speculative as well. Roblox is actually the most risky play out of all of these. But in terms of the number one play I would choose Microsoft. Microsoft is hands down just an incredible stock, incredible company, and it's the number one metaverse stock that I would choose if you want to build wealth. And so there you have it. That will go ahead and conclude today's video. I know this is a long one, but hopefully you guys got some value out of this. And so yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Feel free to like, share, and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next one.